values and morals that we hold start from the family, starts from what you teach your children and all that. Most times when we talk about value orientation, the tendency is for us to apply it to our country. It's just about Nigeria, nation, and all that. But we forget that it starts with us. The change begins with us. Professor Ikechukwu, talk to us about the role of the family institution first and foremost as the base for this reorientation.
Well, no family drops from heaven. Family values are a product of two core values: cultural values and religious values. If a parent is insisting that you do this and don't do that, look closely. It's either from that parent's religion or from the culture he or she grew up in. But even within culture, even at the time, we can say that we know that you would live and nothing will happen to it. You sleep with your windows open. Even at that time, there were always bad people. In the Bible, there were bad people, so it's not a generational thing. The only difference is that now the bad are the majority. So when you
because the parent tree, is
as viruses.
No, yeah, because they are religion and their responsibilities. Because point. We all are.
Yes, but you see, our society is producing progressively less parents of value. That's what we're overlooking. Let's go to education. You got into primary school now, nursery school. Who are the teachers in most nursery schools? House girls and people who dropped out from secondary school. In other words, they're just people who take care of children and clean them up. That's your first level of entry. At this primary level, who are the teachers? Rufai set exams for the primary teachers. Was it secondary school? Secondary. They all failed. Well, we had a 46% pass of subjects below what they were teaching. Now you go to the university, those poorly produced students are poured into the system. So bad quality raw material into tertiary level education. You get to tertiary level education, who are the lecturers? The better paying sectors of the economy have drawn away the best students. So third-rate scholars in many places become the paragons of academic excellence. And so at the level of scholarship, there's decline. At the level of values, there's decline. At the level of academic integrity. Because you have people who have never seen, they don't know what an A paper is. They are teaching, they are doctors and professors. With PhD, sometimes they got on humanitarian grounds, if you like the expression. So what do you have? That's a core center of value, totally violated in most places. Religion. You know that I had this car I was always managing, breaking down every day. I get into public office. In 2 months, I have 5 cars. I build a 250,000 naira house. My chief gives me a chieftaincy title. I have a front seat in the church. I make massive donations during harvest. The message is going to the young people. If you want to amount to anything, this is what you should do. What that then means is that there is unconscious mentoring of a younger generation to replicate those values. So the new paradigm has become a form of values reorientation. And these are with concrete examples. Remember when Kayode Fayemi became governor? He wasn't going with siren or anything. Who were those who said, what is this? They were relations. They came and said, my friend, what? Is it ordinary shakara you cannot do? This is the first time the governorship is coming to our part of the state. People need to hear siren come. If you run over somebody's goat, you don't mind. It's our brother that killed it. Now, that's the crowd you have. So when you say the family, it will take the personal effort at retaining certain values for a parent to still transmit them. And yes, all the values around us are wrong, but it's also possible to give the younger generation, including your children, a reference. Watch those who have followed this trajectory, how far they went. I recall when I had to do a program for a state government, youth values orientation. In fact, one of the modules was on the music of Oliver the Cook, whom you know. Some of the most powerful, Anenwo Bodenwe and Nukumau. I told them, every hall, the auditorium was afire. They were all excited, dancing it. I said, as you're doing, please write down the names of all those mentioned. They wrote down, so the hall settled again. I say, find out how many of them were alive 10 years after that music. Everyone was quiet. A certain lifestyle leads to a certain. So that's a kind of reorientation and focus. Not academic lectures. That will not reorientate anybody or reorient anybody. You hold a retreat on values reorientation. You invite people like you and I who are listening politely. Some sleeping, some playing with their phones. It ought to go down. Drill down, there are youth leaders, there are prefects of schools. Those are the kind of things we do. Sajo is familiar with that, he's involved in it. That's where you go and change people. And you're not changing them for people to come and clap that Nigerian youth have become good. No. You're doing it in the hope and expectation that some of them, in the next 10 years or 15 years, will become leaders. Adeniro Ogunsonya, check his life. He listened to Zeke only once. See the impact he as a man made 30 years later. That's the sort of thing